Hello, everyone. I'm Sibyl Star, and today we're going to be meeting our Star Nation relatives from the Constellation of Draco and the Dragons. This is the year of the dragon, and the dragons are just coming in so strong, and they do come from the Constellation of Draco. So it's important to meet our relatives from that Star Nation. And as we are in the ascension process known as the Great Shift, our consciousness is opening and expanding. And with that comes a remembering that we are multidimensional beings having an experience of separation from source. But the true reality is that we have never left source. It is just our experience of being an aspect or a fractal of the one, and is part of the 3D reality to forget. But now is a time of remembering who we are, that we are multidimensional beings having experiences in different realities and dimensions, and different timelines, where there is no past or future. There's only the present. Everything is existing at the same time. And to remember that we have families in other star nations, that we have a starseed lineage. There has been a quarantine on Earth that has prevented our Star Nation relatives from having contact with us for quite a while. But that quarantine has been lifted, and it is now time to make relations once again with our galactic family, or we could call them our cosmic cousins. Our Star Nation relatives need us to remember them, as they are here to help us with the shift in consciousness here on Mother Earth as we rejoin the cosmic collective. Bashar says that 2023 and 2024 are years that begin a 10-year window of open contact, but that we must elevate our own consciousness so we can meet our Star Nation relatives in their resonant field, as a 3D reality is difficult for them to manifest in. But we can meet our Star Nation relatives in the same dimensions as the magical beings, such as the fairies, elves, and the dragons. The dragons are in the fourth dimension. And, there have been many times in the history of our Earth where humans have been able to enter that fourth dimensional reality much more easily and connect with our magical friends. And that door is opening again. And so today we will meet the dragons and the star beings from the constellation of Draco. All right, let us begin. All right, so here we are. Let us start. So, meet your Star Nation relatives from the Draco Constellation and the Dragons. Draco is one of the largest constellations in the sky, and it is located in the northern celestial hemisphere. The constellation represents Ladon, the dragon that guarded the gardens of the Hesperides in Greek mythology. The name Draco means dragon in Latin, and you can see it here. It's where it is. It's up at it's one of the very northern stars. It is what is called a circumpolar constellation, meaning it never sets below the horizon for many observers in the northern hemisphere, meaning it can be seen year round, and that is because it is so far north. Draco contains several famous deep sky objects. These include the Cat's Eye Nebula, the Spindle Galaxy, and the Tadpole Galaxy. Draco is the 8th largest constellation in the night sky, occupying an area of over 1,083 square degrees, and it can be seen at the latitudes +90 and to -15, and it spans over 250 zodiac degrees from Aries to Sagittarius. Draco has 9 stars with known planets. The brightest star in the constellation is Itamen, or they might call it Eltanin, which is this star right here. And this star actually aligns with the galactic center. Here is the head of the dragon. And here's some of the stars. We've got Itamen and we've got Rastaban. There's quite a few here. And anyway, and you come down here, and here is Thuban. And Thuban is called, well, let's go back here. Draco has 9 stars with known planets. The brightest star in the constellation is Itamen, or Gamma Draconis. There is 1 meteor shower associated with the constellation, the Draconids. Alpha Draconis, or Thuban, and here is Thuban, isn't a particularly bright star, but it holds a special place in the hearts of stargazers. That's because Thuban, a relatively inconspicuous star, was the pole star some 5,000 years ago. Now the pole star is Polaris, but 5,000 years ago, when the Egyptians were building the pyramids. And there's evidence that Thuban helped guide the ancient pyramid builders. Some features inside the pyramids do align with the stars of Draco. And Thuban is also known as the heart of the dragon. The pyramids may appear to us as an enduring monument of ancient Egypt. The sky slowly changes, and because Earth axis wobbles slowly over 26,000 years, the identity of our pole star changes. So Thuban is no longer our pole star, but it will be the pole star again some 20,000 years from now. Okay, all right. So we're now going to talk about the mythology of Draco and the dragons. So throughout history, the Draco constellation has been seen as a snake, a dragon, or a serpent. It was seen by the Babylonians as Tiamat, the great dragon. I love this image here. The stars of the little bear were originally known as the dragon's wings. But since the time of the Greeks, the dragon has had no celestial wings. The little bear now has its own constellation, of which Polaris is the brightest star. With Draco's stars being the pole stars from about 4,500 BC to about 2000 BC, the mighty celestial dragon was seen to guard the greatest treasure of all, the still point of the pole. The dragon never slept because it was a circumpolar star, thereby suggesting that this is also the creature which is the 100-eyed non-sleeping dragon, which guarded the golden apples in the Garden of the Hesperides. Golden apples are a symbol of power, beauty, and immortality. In Celtic mythology, the dragons guarded that which was sacred. And so, who are the dragons? They are mythical, magical beings from another universe. The constellation Draco is said to be the stellar home of the dragons here in the Milky Way. They are ancient wisdom keepers who are enlightened, all-seeing, and all-knowing beings. They are guardians of the galaxy. They are cosmic warriors, protectors of divine will, and keepers of divine order. In Western lore, dragons are beings of chaos and are to be feared. They can also represent some of our deepest fears, so you may need to confront your fears when the dragons show up. Ultimately, the dragons are about reclaiming our power by aligning with divine will and our divine plan. That's what divine will is. It's our divine plan. It is the intention of the light. Many people feel very connected to dragons now, as they are here to help us with this shift and are appearing in our consciousness in great numbers. Dragons have always lived somewhere in our consciousness, as so many stories and fairy tales have dragons. And who can forget the magical song of the 60s, Puff the Magic Dragon? Okay. This kind of looks more like Puff, whereas this is really the dragons we may need to confront. But it's also about the power. It's about how we claim our power is by confronting our fears. Okay. All right. And so certain ley lines carry dragon energy and are associated with dragons, suggesting that the dragons are energetic pathways, the energetic pathways that are embedded in Mother Earth herself is dragon energy. These dragon ley lines are woven into the fabric of various cultural mythologies. They connect to sacred sites and landscapes and ancient wonders with the serpentine energy of mythical dragons. So yeah, so these ley lines that go around the earth, some of them are called dragon lines, and they say they carry dragon energy, and it connects these sacred sites. Dragons are connected to the elemental energies of Mother Earth, the earth dragon for grounding and connecting to the intelligence of the natural world, the water dragon for emotional flow and transmuting energy, and the rainbow dragon for reclaiming and integrating the disowned parts of ourselves. And dragons come in many colors. The emerald dragon is the heart of the dragon and brings trust, truth, compassion, and forgiveness. The emerald green dragon. The blue dragon stands for communication and is aligned with the throat chakra. The blue dragon is held in the dragon ley lines because they are lines of communication, the ley lines. The purple dragon holds the power of transmutation and locks into the energy of the crystal skull network as well as the Akashic records. The golden dragon brings prosperity and abundance. This dragon is also a dream walker and a storyteller. The amber dragon stands for creativity, sexuality, rebirth, fertility, motherhood, nurturing, and instinct. The silver dragon carries the energy of the divine feminine, bringing nurturing, softness, and unconditional love. And the white dragon holds the essence of white light, purity, and vastness. And some of this comes from the Diamond Codex, the Diamond Codex, the Diamond Codex and the Quartz Key by Magenta Pixie. All right, so now we're going to look at the Chinese dragons because so in China, like I said, this is the year of the dragon. And so in China, the dragons are benevolent beings who bring prosperity and good fortune. Chinese emperors are of a dragon lineage. The dragon is the only animal in the Chinese zodiac that is not of the mundane earthly world. It has the highest vision. Dragon years are considered very auspicious, symbolizing power, inner strength, and courage. Dragons ask us to take the path of power. They are bold, proud, and fearless. They bring with them motivation to get things done. Only action and productivity matter for the dragon. Dragon encourages us to step out of our comfort zone. They are strong, self-confident, and commanding. Dragons are natural-born leaders. Dragons bring charismatic, visionary leadership that inspires others. Dragons create collective determination and innovative approaches to solve global issues. People born in dragon years usually possess natural courage, tenacity, and intelligence, often displaying enthusiasm and confidence. A weakness in dragons is arrogance, being arrogant, relentless, and elusive. As we know, 2024 is the year of the wood dragon. The wood element gives structure to the vision. The dragon combined with vitality and growth of wood element creates dynamic forces of innovation and adaptability. The dragon is yang, wood is yang. There is also a yang wood thunder trigram at the center, which is the ruler of the Bagua chart in feng shui. The thunder trigram is the initial jolt of energy that instigates change and transformation. One side of the coin brings lots of action and productivity. The other side, aggression, conflict, and general bad behavior. Don't want that. Okay. All right. So the celestial dragon stellar family are warriors and protectors of divine will and keepers of divine order. According to the book Stellar Nation Soul Families, the celestial dragons carry the 8 virtues of the warrior, with certain stars being the initiatory points for each virtue. If you have any of these stars I'm going to talk about here prominent in your chart, you may carry dragon warrior energy and on a path to reclaiming your power that is in alignment with divine will. The first 4 stars are in Draco, the head of the dragon. And the first one is Rastaban at 12 degrees, 4 minutes of Sagittarius. And you can have a couple of degrees on either side, probably anywhere from 10 to 14 degrees. Carries the first virtue, the balance of fire. This gives the ability to fight for the truth or rights of others. This is a holy purpose and mission. The second star is Itamin, which also has another name called Eltanin at 28 degrees of Sagittarius. And this is the eye of the dragon. This is in alignment with the galactic center and the great central sun. And it carries the second virtue, the balance of water. It means balance of the emotions, learning perfect control as in previous lives, as well as this one. Your emotions may be dragging you into unnecessary struggle. But this also gives visionary sight as it aligns with the galactic center and the great central sun. Rumium at 52 degrees of Sagittarius carries the third virtue, the balance of earth. This virtue is a need to learn the perfect and unhindering moving of forces inside of the body, how to work with their chi. Alracus at 20, also at 2452, it's at 2452 Scorpio, not Sagittarius, is the fourth virtue, and it is the balance of the air element. In warriors' language, this means keeping the thoughts clean. So being able to empty the mind and control the thoughts are very important. Regal at 16 degrees, 56 minutes of Gemini in Orion is the fifth virtue, a balance of motion. And it is the heavenly star of martial arts, how to move with all of the elements to protect the balance of divine forces. The next star, the fifth star, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sixth virtue is Vega. Vega is located at 15 degrees, 25 minutes of Capricorn, is in Lyra, and it's called the warrior's power and lordship. This star is an initiation into power. This is a star where if you have this in your chart, you have dragon energy where you may have been given the ring of power. And that is the test. How will you use the ring of power? As you remember in the Lord of the Rings, different people they showed were given the ring of power, and only a few could really pass the test. So this test is how will you use it to serve your ego desires or to serve divine will? Thuban, which you've already talked about, at 733 degrees of Virgo in Draco. This is what is called the stellar home of the dragon and the heart of the dragon warrior. It brings a warrior's mercy. This is a holy warrior who knows when to offer mercy to the defeated. And the last star is Algol, which has got a very difficult reputation. I'm going to be doing actually a whole video on Algol as well. But Algol at 26 degrees of Taurus, 2616 in the constellation of Perseus, it brings the eighth virtue of mercilessness and relentlessness. This is the given the task of deciding over life and death, which may be necessary. Sometimes something needs to die rather than continue living. And so Algol is the place where that decision would be made. Those who have this in their chart may need to make those kinds of life and death decisions at points in their life. Okay. All right, now we're going to talk about the star nation of Draco. Okay. It is said that the reptilian race came from another universe. Some say they were forced to leave, but ultimately, settled in Draco and then many other star systems. It is important to remember that all races have different levels of consciousness and that there are enlightened reptilians, such as the dragons and others as well, but there are also low vibrational beings. In the galactic history, There are multiple wars that the reptilians, including fallen dragons, have participated in according to channeled information. One is the story of the fallen angels and the dragons that assisted them from Draco. They made a choice to follow the ring of power for their own desires instead of divine will. Another story is of the Lyra Draconian Wars. According to this story, the Lyrans became very advanced technologically and started exploring and colonizing different planets in the Lyra constellation. They believed they were the only ones in the universe until the Draconians showed up, and they had much more advanced technology. The Draconians convinced the Lyrans to let them enter their planets with the promise of sharing their advanced technology. But the Draconians attacked the Lyrans and a long war occurred. Several of the Lyran planets were destroyed. These Lyrans then became refugees. They left their solar system and fled to other star systems, including Orion, which they then colonized, but the Draconians followed them there. The millions of years of wars in the Orion system began, and they became the epicenter of polarity consciousness in the Milky Way. It is said that the Star Wars movies were based on the Orion Wars, with the Draconians deeply involved. These Draconians made Orion their home, and they also attacked other star systems. But the Star Wars, in Orion, I think that was the last one I did. About Orion, where I talked about the Orion Wars. All right, and so my references here are Lisa Royal Holt, The Prism of Lyra, Debbie Solaris, and Julia Balaz from Galactic Astrology program, as well as the Stellar Nation Soul Families material. Okay. All right, so I really like this image here. It's Captain Kirk. So it looks like he's having a battle with the reptilians, because they went to many stellar systems. They went to many different star systems, even though their stellar home is Draco. It is said that many in our governments and the powerful elite have Draconian lineage, especially those with the history in the Orion Wars, as we are feeling echoes of these wars here. Some of the same players are here now. I have also come to understand that Draconians took on the role of being catalysts for our growth here in the Milky Way, where polarity consciousness is our mechanism for growth, the good versus evil projections. They have taken this on for their own consciousness growth, as well as growing the greater reality. But many get lost in the story, so we'll have karma for their role, just as we do. It is said the reptilians mirror back to us our own darkness and fear, so that we can own our projections and integrate the dark and light within, but that only comes with deep inner work. Lisa Royal Holt says there are many reptilian beings in our galaxy, but few are hostile. Because they are ugly to us, we project negative attributes on them. They represent the unprocessed and denied fears in us. There are many enlightened draconian reptile beings, and some of their traits are being heart-centered with unconditional love, loyal, organized, and with the ability to shapeshift. That's why I really like this image right here. It is said that 2024 is the year to heal the heart of the dragon that may have participated in the galactic wars. In indigenous traditions, the warrior cannot return to the tribe until a purification ceremony. I would say this in many indigenous traditions. I don't know about all. The warrior cannot return to the tribe until a purification ceremony has taken place, if any lives were taken. This may be true for those who carry a dragon heart. Okay. So here, Draconian starseeds. What are some of the Draconian starseed traits? Okay. So they are master builders and architects. I like this image right here of this woman and her little dragon being. And this is kind of, I think, though, a really good energetic feel of a Draconian. They are logical beings of light, rooted in structure, routine, order, and physicality. They are leaders, confident, determined, adaptable, and finish what they start. They have strong organizational skills and are doers of the world. They're noted for strength, loyalty, and determination. They are brave and seekers of justice. They can be rebellious and question authority. They can be physically active. They like to run, swim, dance. They like to keep moving. Very intuitive and absorb information quickly. They may be emotionally unavailable. They can have a strong shadow aspect. They may be attracted to power, aggression, or domination. But of course, many of them will be given the ring of power, and it will be their choice how they use it. They can have a powerful magnetic aura. Many in our government and the halls of power are Draconians. They make us look at our shadow because the goal is the integration of shadow that is the ascension process. Those with Draco imprinting must first integrate their own shadow, so must do a lot of inner work. They may have many demons to slay, and they may have collective karma around polarity consciousness due to participating in the galactic wars. So it is a part of healing the polarity consciousness, the us versus them mentality here on Mother Earth. All right. And so do you think you could be a Draconian starseed? Well, I do a form of astrology called Galactic Astrology, where we look at your chart. And here's the person's birth chart. This is the client's birth chart. You can see her sun is here at 6 degrees of Virgo. And we've got it over here. This is the galactic chart. This is the natal chart. This is the galactic chart. So her 6-degree sun is conjunct Draco, tightly conjunct Draco, very close. This person also has another star. She has Jupiter conjunct the star Itamin. Okay. Her Jupiter is at 28 degrees, and Itamin, when she was born, was at 27 degrees, 35 minutes. Yeah, the galactic chart here doesn't have all of the dragon stars on it, but it certainly has several of the big ones. So anyway, if you think you might be a Draco or Dragon starseed, you might consider having a galactic astrology reading done. Right. And I really like this. It says, you must have a dragon hidden inside you. When you need, you can let the dragon out. So, do you have a dragon hidden inside you? Is it time to let the dragon out? All right, and here's how you reach me, Sibyl Star, at www.sibylstar.com, and go to my Galactic Astrology page. All right. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that presentation. And like I said, if you're interested in a galactic astrology reading, all my contact information will be in the box below. And wishing you all a wonderful experience here in this time of great awakening. Namaste to you and many blessings.